Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Thanks for coming. I'm going to start this first session with a brief review of the CGM, the Community Geodetic Model. Hopefully get us all on the same page a little bit regarding what has happened to the CGM with the CGM over the last couple of years. So again, welcome. We're glad you're all here joining us, and I hope that you'll get something out of this workshop. I hope you'll make some connections, learn a few things, and we can progress into the future together. One of the first questions we might ask ourselves is, who is the CGM? And it's all of us. It's the collective fruit of the contributing community's labor and research and work. The CGM is of the community, by the community, and for the community. The CGM is all of us combined. So again, thank you for joining. We welcome you all to contribute your expertise, your product lines, if you have those, your algorithms, your ideas, everything to the CGM. And as we proceed through the next couple of days, 4 hours today and 4 hours tomorrow, we hope that you will be involved then and potentially in the future as well. What is the CGM then? The CGM provides direct measurements of displacement and displacement rates of the surface of the Earth, including derived products that might be of interest to the community, such as strain rate and interpolated fields of displacement and displacement rate. The quantification of this is done at geodetic sites for the CGM, so that might include survey and continuous GNSS, and spatially dense coverage coming from INSAR. The CGM version 1, which was the result of SCEC 4, is time independent in this sense and provides interpolated velocity and strain rate grids in a net CDF format. The CGM version 2, which has been developed over the course of SCEC 5 since 2017, expands upon the CGM 1 to provide time series. So that's time-dependent estimates for both GNSS and INSAR. And again, we will eventually develop those derived quantities of surface velocity. So in this sense, compared to other community models at SCEC, we do tend to balance out a little more on the data product side, direct observations, rather than the model side derived quantities, but both are included in the community geodetic model. So a brief rundown of what's been happening over the last few years. At the end of 2016, as SCEC 4 came to a close, the CGM version 1 was released. That includes GNSS velocities and INSAR line of sight rate maps and the derived strain rate grids. There was a workshop in March 2018 at Scripps Institute of Oceanography for the CGM. And at that workshop, or just prior to that workshop, there was some preliminary consensus time series for GNSS developed. And at that workshop, the first attempt at reconciling GNSS velocity solutions estimated from those time series was undertaken, and discussions of INSAR time series began. The consensus GNSS time series have been continued to develop ever since. We had, in the meantime, we also had another workshop at the SCEC annual meeting in 2019, followed quickly afterwards by a Friends of INSAR discussion at the AGU 4 meeting in 2019. And that actually initiated regular INSAR working group activity for the CGM. So the INSAR time series have been developed pretty much since then, and more recently the GNSS time series have become operational, which we'll talk about later in the workshop. An initial website went live at scec.org just a few months ago before the annual meeting. And as and here we are doing another CGM workshop as we head into the bridge period. We will be looking again at getting back to the GNSS velocity solutions and coming up with a consensus there, the combination of GNSS and INSAR products, and the derived products as well, again, like strain and rate maps. So again, just to restate what I've already said, The SCEC 4 CGM version 1 was released in 2016, consisted of GNSS velocities and INSAR line of sight rates from publications, and they were interpolated into strain rate fields. The CGM2 has taken a step back towards the time-dependent domain and focused on time series. The time series are combined from several different analysis centers which produce products that are publicly available. More on that in the next talk. And we also have INSAR time series from the INSAR working group here, which again, you'll hear more about in the summary of the INSAR products. The combination is the real unique characteristic of the CGM, and that's the main motivation for why we're all here and why we are contributing to the CGM. The web page, as I said, has gone live. So it used to be hosted, the products used to be hosted by David Sandwell at Scripps. We have moved that across to scec.org. So please now go to scec.org/research/CGM for a landing page for the CGM. The CGM1 products have also been uploaded to Zenodo, which can be downloaded there using the DOI at the top there. It's one zip file, includes all the data tables and the netcdf files of the INSAR and also the strain rate fields. A concept DOI has been created, which is an umbrella DOI at the bottom there. And if you use that as we upload CGM version 2 products, as we extend into the future, that concept DOI will always lead you to the latest version of the data products. So please make a note of both, and according to whatever you might use, please cite accordingly. We've also recently created a few mailing lists, one for the GNSS working group, one for the INSAR working group, and one for CGM users. So please feel free to sign up if you wish to hear about announcements. These mailing lists are not intended to be general forums. I don't intend to be continuously monitoring them for ideas and feedback and things like that. But if you are interested in hearing messages about recent updates, workshops, things like that, then please do sign yourself up. So why are we here? The overarching goals here are to update you all and each other on work, products, and the direction since the last workshop at the end of 2019, before the pandemic slowed things down a little bit. We're going to be hearing about some new and novel data techniques and uses and applications of the resulting products and derived quantities. And we'll be talking a lot about how all of that can be rolled into prioritization of future research and products. Some of the underlying motivating questions are, what does the community need from the community geodetic model? What can you contribute? How do we use and validate the CGM? And what are the most critical next steps to help advance earthquake and general geophysical research in Southern California and beyond as we head towards the end of SCEC 5? Thank you.